lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey guys, welcome to Review on Wheels with spoilers, just like in the title. This is a show where we talk about the film right after we left the theater on our way home. That way you get a fresh impression of what we thought of the film. I'm Mike Ronan Fan. With me at the helm is
JD, also known as SD Prototype.
And of course, Christian Ensign Marinu. Right?
Yep.
The movie this week is Star Trek Beyond. Let's hit the road.
Well, at least I won't die alone. Well, that's just typical.
So, Christian, tell us a little bit about Star Trek. What's the synopsis?
In the middle of their 5-year mission, the crew of the Enterprise goes adrift.
Oh, Jesus.
After being attacked by Idris Elba's crew. Idris Elba goes by Call in this one. And once they're stuck on this remote planet, they have to find a way back and stop Crawl.
You ever saw the movie Crawl back in the day? There was a movie called Crawl.
Yeah, I remember Crawl.
So if you didn't get the little pun of Christian's there, the film was directed by Justin Lin. And if you don't recognize that name, Tokyo Drift should be ringing a bell with you. So the director of Fast and Furious has taken over the Star Trek franchise for this time around. I don't know if J.J. Abrams will return. If you ever get that assigned to the Enterprise, I'll be like, oh no. A lot of people die in this one.
Yep.
Like they always do. Just getting sucked out into space. I can't imagine a worse death.
I mean, even within the first, 15, 20 minutes, a lot of the red shirts get blasted in the invasion.
Yeah.
Everyone on that crew had a red shirt on.
The next one, he said he's not going to direct it, just write and produce.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he not like directing anymore?
I guess just moving on to other projects.
I guess.
He's got Star Wars right now, so...
Well, he only did the first one. He's not doing the next two that we know of. Overall, what do you think of the film, Christian?
I enjoyed it. It felt more in the vein of the first one, where it was more fun and action-packed, as opposed to the seriousness of the second one.
JD, what do you think of it overall?
It was a fun ride. I'm not very invested into the Star Trek universe. As for watching it, as being a tourist of the franchise, it was fun to watch.
Have any of you watched Star Trek before?
I watched a couple episodes of Next Generation, but never really stuck with me.
I've only watched Voyager and Deep Space Nine, and that's only because, like, on Sunday nights when I was studying, when I was in college, it would run Syndicate on UPN.
Yep.
So that was the closest thing I got to watching Star Trek. I've seen a couple episodes of Next Generation. I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's more about diplomacy and politics, and it's not as action-packed as these movies.
Yeah, and that's the dividing line. I guess a lot of hardcore Star Trek fans don't like that they turned into an action franchise. But, like, I don't know. I don't think it would be exciting to sit around and watch people talk diplomacy for, like, hours.
My thing is, like, they made good action movies out of these, so I'm not complaining. If they were, like, generic action movies, then, yeah, I'd see an issue, but...
And it's funny because the opening scene was him being a diplomat for another species, speaking to a bunch of Pokemon. I mean, they did roll up with the balls, the form-fitting, so I'm just saying.
I like how they were shot, like they were big and ferocious, and then they just roll into this little tiny thing.
And then one ends up at the end with a shirt on.
Yeah, they call him Kevin.
Was it Kevin?
Yeah.
What do you guys didn't like about the film? We want to start on what we don't like, that way later on we end on a good note, things we did like. Any things that bother you, Christian?
I didn't like that we barely had enough time with Crawl, Idris Elba's character. There was second-long bits throughout the movie, and then near the end they tell you his reasoning and why he was doing what he's doing.
Yeah, his motivation seems odd to me. I kind of found a plot hole in the movie. Okay, so in the film, you find out that Idris's character and the alien race that's on this planet that captured the crew of the Enterprise, they're actually human. They were the first crew to go deep into space using the newest warp technology 100 years before. So they crash landed on this planet. What happened was Idris's character is a soldier, and after the Federation was formed, there was supposed to be no more war. So they just gave him a starship and sent him on deep space mission. They crash landed on this mining planet that was abandoned. They're reluctant and disgruntled by the fact that the Federation forgot about them, right? and just left them there supposedly to die, then go looking for them. But later on in the film, they attack one of the Federation like space stations because they have ships to go attack it.
Yeah.
You weren't really trapped on the planet. They found the mining ships from that planet that moved like swarms of bees or whatever, and they got off the planet.
There were space piranhas.
I think it was a thing where like they just took that planet for their home because he found remnants of alien technology there.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where they could find those kind of things to keep them supplemented.
Yeah, because it was some type of technology to keep like prolong their life by sucking life energies, which they don't really explain. It just does it. Like I mean, that's one of my biggest gripes about the Star Trek franchise in general. Like, there's a lot of camp in it, and you just go to it's science. It's not even science fiction. It's science fantasy. Because there's just things that happen. They're like, okay, we don't need to explain. It's just technology that you won't understand in the century or whatever. They have this camp level to it. So you're in the future. We have this technology, but people still wear mini skirts in space.
Because why not?
It's very much like the James Bond movies where even though they're gotten to a place where they're a little bit more grounded, they still have that camp as a way to refer back to the old movies and old series.
That was just odd to me that his gripe was like they abandoned us on this planet and they forgot about us. By the way, we had the ships that could have left any time, but whatever. So what they did was slowly abduct other species that went near the planet.
That's what I thought. I figured he was like building up kind of this new civilization in a way, so he could gain the force to take over Earth or whatever.
Okay, so you saw all the ships they had. It's like a swarm of
like hive mind kind of
deal with it, but that's how many crew members are there, or are some of them drones?
Yeah, that's where it falls apart. They don't go into that.
He had a huge crew member. If each of those represent one crew member, the drones.
They've got to be crew members because they were attacking the ship and they were getting out and attacking from within.
Yeah, but I wonder if every single one of those ships of the swarm was a crew member? Because there's no way that many crew members were on that small ship.
Yeah.
Or that small
Franklin.
camp.
So yeah, they found the old Franklin ship, and somehow Voyager technology still works. I guess they built Ford Tough.
That alien chick whose name slipped my mind, she'd been maintaining it and using it as a home.
Yeah, that's the same chick that was in Kingsman, the chick with the blade legs. So I liked her. I was talking to a couple friends of ours, Parth and Scott. They said that she was barely in the film.
Oh, I felt she had.
I think she had a substantial amount in the film. She played a big role too. Without her, they couldn't save the crew and break into the camp.
Lassie, I'm having a difficult day here. I've got to find my crewmates.
You help me, and I help you.
All right, well, things being as they are, I doubt I'll get a better offer today, so lead the way.
Good. I am Jayla, and you are Montgomery Scott.
Aye, Scotty.
Come now, Montgomery Scotty.
They finally explained why they used the Beastie Boys song, Sabotage, in the trailer.
I facepalmed a little bit during that.
Really? I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I liked the way they used it.
I thought it was funny.
When I saw the wave coming through, I'm like, they're really going to surf this.
Yeah.
And then they push play, I'm like, they're going to surf it to Beast Boys.
Why we are all here.
I like how they played the Beastie Boys. Like, is that classical music? Oh yeah, good choice.
Yeah, I like that part.
I like that part. I thought it was funny as. I mean, it was like, okay, so the swarm of ships, they're connected through some kind of signal to coordinate to move like a swarm. Otherwise, they'll all crash into each other and explode. And they're like, oh, science bullshit. We need to interfere with another signal bullshit. Oh, Beastie Boys. Yeah!
I like the way they started syncing some of the action to the Beastie Boys music.
Yeah.
Like the explosions to the screams still.
Oh yeah, J.J. Abrams' best friend was in it as a security officer on top of the, what was it?
York. That's
Yorktown, yeah. The new space station was Yorktown.
Is that all that guy does? Just wait for Abrams to call him and say, hey, we need you?
Well, he's not really an actor. He was J.J. Abrams' best friend, and he put him in Alias. That took off his career. It was the beginning of Lost.
Really?
He was the pilot of the Lost plane that crashed, and he was like the first to get eaten by the smoke monster. I thought it was cool the way they used the Beastie Boys song. I didn't have a problem with it. I understand, so that's when we go back into the camp thing, right?
Yeah.
there's a level of camp that's in Star Trek films that you just gotta accept, and I already accepted them.
Yeah.
There's way too much bullshit in them not to go, oh, whatever.
I mean, like, it works better, or this franchise works better in camp than it does serious, because if we've seen the last movie.
Yeah. And
So do you guys think this was like a next level camp?
I don't think it was next level. I think it's on the same camp level that all Star Trek films and franchises on. I mean, look, this is the problem. Like with the first film, James T. Kirk was almost kicked out of Starfleet as a cadet, and by the end of the film, he's captain of a ship. That's like, okay, science fiction aside, you have to suspend disbelief with all this technology. But that's a logic that doesn't work internally as a human nature type of thing. Like, no one progresses that fast.
Then he got
in, like any society.
Then he got demoted, borderline kicked out, and then brought back as captain again in the second one.
In the second one. And yeah, so the subplot of this one is that James Kirk is kind of tired of being a captain. Yeah, there's a log that he does at the beginning where he's fatigued, I guess, for deep space travel.
Yeah, he says you don't remember what days happened because everything's the same pretty much.
And that was one of the best lines in the film was when he was talking to Bones at the bar before his birthday and saying that.
So you spent so much time trying to be George Kirk, you forgot what it's like to be Jim.
Yeah, that was a good line. I like that one.
You thought he was a vodka guy.
Oh yeah, so at the end of the film, they did give a little note and send memory of Leonard Nimoy, who passed away last year, and Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, and the ending monologue when they talked about people we've lost, there was like a little shot of him.
Yeah, kind of sucks. Yeah, he died at a very young age. So they said that they wouldn't replace him either.
No, they're probably going to say, oh, he transferred to another ship or something.
I was hoping they'll do something like Fast and Furious, kind of like Paul Walker. Like Anton Yelchin pulls up in the next to them in a white spaceship. So he's like, I got transfer, guys. And they look at each other longingly in the eye. And he flies off into the sun.
And the song plays.
Oh, the same song. What song was that?
That was like See You Again or something.
Yeah, Till We See You Again. It's also directed by Justin Lin, like I mentioned earlier. What'd you think of his directing? I noticed there was less lens flare.
Yeah.
There's no lens flare.
More floaty.
I talked to some people about this. They saw it the other day too. They saw it early, which is he tries to pay too much respect to J.J. Abrams' directing style for Star Trek, to where the camera would actually flip and go upside down and float a lot. And like J.J. Abrams maybe did 3 or 4 times or 5 times a movie for each of the Star Trek films, but in this one, Justin was like, you know what? We need to do at least 30 shots of that. I just think it was overly. It was so overt in your face that it became too noticeable.
It wasn't useful in some shots. Like if you were gonna flip upside down, it's like, oh, okay, that means gravity is facing this way for them.
Yeah.
But there were shots when they were on the planet and he did the shot
where it flipped upside down.
When it flipped upside down and they came right back up, I'm like, that was unnecessary.
The motivation behind the shot wasn't as clear compared to Abrams. When he did it. There's a lot more shaky camera in this one.
Yeah.
And the fight scenes were difficult to see.
I didn't have a problem seeing the fight scenes, but I understand why some people may have. And overall, it was too much shaky camera. I don't see that going away for this franchise, unfortunately.
Yeah, even though that's true, I didn't have a problem following the action.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely see where you're getting at with that.
That scene where they were at nighttime on the planet, on the crashed Enterprise ship, that was a little underlit. Was it too dark, or was it just me?
Well, even though I could tell what was going on, I did feel like it was a little too dark.
It seemed a bit washed.
Yeah, that was a little odd. Kroll, what'd you think of his character? So it turns out, like I said, it was Idris Elba's character, this original captain of the Franklin.
I didn't know that was him.
You didn't know it was Idris?
Yeah, I didn't read into the cast all too much. I thought it was just a lot of returning cast of characters.
Oh yeah.
Prior to this movie, I didn't know who Idris Elba was playing, but as soon as I saw Kroll, I was like, oh, that's him.
Yeah, on the first trailer that they released, you hear Idris' voice and see Kroll. You didn't see them matching, so I wasn't sure if that was Idris was Kroll or not.
But on the newer trailers...
Oh my god, you missed it. Before we went to the movies, they showed a new trailer for Star Trek. I mean, the big reveal was that Idris was this alien, that he was human.
Yeah.
That was the plot twist. But the new trailer shows it.
Yeah.
It shows him doing his video log And then Uhura going, "Oh, that's him," and coming back. I was like, "You just revealed the plot twist."
Yeah, because prior to this, I always saw that trailer that came out, 9 months ago?
Yeah.
And stayed away from everything else. So this was like how he got from where he was to who he is now was a surprise to me. But I feel bad for him when he saw the newer trailers.
That was horrible. I don't know why they would do that.
Because Simon Pegg even said stay away from all marketing material prior to this. I was like, oh, I wonder what's that about.
Hearing it from you guys, like I've only seen the first initial trailer, the Beastie Boy trailer.
Yeah, which was there was a lot of backlash about it. A lot of people didn't like it, and they tried to explain it's like the song is important.
Yeah.
And we found out later why.
Yeah, and then like that was it. That was all the marketing that I saw for it. So like that's what made me, and I guess, enjoy the movie a little bit more because it was a lot more surprise.
The second trailer that came out was much better. They didn't play Beastie Boys, and I'm a fan of Beastie Boys. I love Sabotage. It's one of my classic favorite songs of all time.
It's classical now.
It's classical.
Yeah, I had no problem with the song. I just thought it didn't match it for the first trailer.
Yeah, it did not.
But yeah.
See, so subplots. There's like two subplots, which is Kirk and Spock's subplot. James T. Kirk wants to retire, or not retire, be stationed at the space station Yorktown. And then Spock, after Ambassador Spock passed away, wants to be stationed back at Vulcan.
Yeah, continue Spock's studies.
And also he's like, maybe we need more Vulcan people. So he broke up with Uhura at the beginning of the film.
Is it because he wanted pure Vulcans? Was that?
But he's not pure Vulcan. He's half human. One of the writers is mom.
No, that's right.
You guys break up? What'd you do?
A typically reductive inquiry, Doctor.
You know, Spock, if an Earth girl says it's me, not you, it's definitely you.
So I thought that was a flawed logic. My biggest gripe with this movie is actually the MacGuffin.
Oh, yeah, the artifact.
The artifact. They introduced this artifact at the very beginning that Spock had on the Enterprise that he was supposed to offer as a peace offering to the Pokemon species.
Did they ever explain what the name of the species was?
They mentioned it really early in the movie,
but it's
minor.
It's Pikachu species. And then, or Sandshrew. They look more like Sandshrews. They left it on, they concentrated too much on it. A lot of close-ups, and then them storing it on the Enterprise. I was like, okay, this is going to play a big part. And it turns out to be some kind of bio-nanite technology.
Nano machines.
PlayStation 9.
What?
Oh, PlayStation 9.
Metal Gear. It's Fox die. And that it just disintegrates people. I was like, this is just weird that they had a MacGuffin that they all had to chase after. It felt too much like Marvel.
Oh, yeah, with
the cube and everything.
It was the ether.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It is ether. That's a good observation. So, what you guys liked about the movie? What was the strongest part of the movie for you?
What I could see of the action sequences, like the fighting in the abandoned ship.
Oh, on the... Wait.
Enterprise after it crash landed on the planet.
Oh, yeah, with Chekhov and Kirk running through it.
Yeah, and I like that they exposed the weakness of the Enterprise. When all the ships just went into the turbines, like finally someone finally learned your lesson about that.
Yeah, when he's like, cut off the neck, and then they just drilled it straight into it. Well, it's because for some reason none of the shields work.
It didn't have no effect. It was like a physical.
I mean, yeah, because they weren't energy-based weapons, I guess.
That's what I'm going with.
That's a weird weakness. So I guess you had an Enterprise with a handgun?
Maybe. Is it an energy handgun?
No, just bullets. What about you, Jay? What did you like about the movie?
It kept moving. It was progressive, and there was always something new around the corner for it. It wasn't like the past ones where you would think you've seen everything.
Yeah, because it's a new character. It's not conned.
Yeah. It's not harking back too far to the original series.
That's true. They did take a departure from the original series on this one, because that was one of the gripes of the previous films, was they harkened too much.
Yeah.
I mean, the first movie I understand. You have to.
That second one was just all over the place. Just every Star Trek reference I'd ever heard was stuffed in that second one.
Even that little furry thing.
Yep. The triples.
Yeah. That was one of the most annoying parts of the whole movie. Bones was trying to save Kirk, he's like, we need Khan's super blood.
Yeah.
I was like, you're a medical physician. You use the term super blood? We use Khan's super blood to save you, Jim.
You know, super blood.
Yeah, super blood. Me personally, I overall enjoyed the film. Apparently, some people say this is the best Star Trek. I don't believe so.
I don't put it up to that height.
I think it's okay. It's another episode.
Yeah, it's a close second.
The things I liked about it was that Jim matured.
Yeah, he came into his own.
He came to, he's less of the recluse that he was in the previous films.
I like Bones' complaints all the time.
Yeah, he was. Carl Urban's as Bones was great. You know what was funny is that in the second film they concentrate on the relationship between Spock and Jim, that they're best friends, but they barely spent time together on this film. It was mostly Bones and Jim. It seemed like they were closer friends because they would go get drinks together. And then it was Bones and Spock on the planet trying to survive.
You think they're trying to pay more attention to all the characters?
I think they're trying to spread out and give enough screen time to everyone. It seems like everyone can get a decent amount of screen time.
I like that though, instead of just always focusing on Kirk.
Yeah.
Build or flesh out the characters in his crew.
It was cool that they gave nod to Sulu being gay.
Yeah.
As a tribute to
George Takei.
I thought that was cool. I really liked that. So that's pretty much our first thoughts on Star Trek Beyond. On our rating scale between staying home reading a book, staying home and streaming it, or worth the drive, Christian, what would you give it?
I think it's worth the drive.
JD?
I'm going to stream it.
You would stream it? You didn't like it enough?
And I don't think it was, to me, it wasn't the admission for a theater experience.
Okay. For me, I think it's definitely worth the drive. It's definitely a fun movie, summer pack movie, popcorn movie flick that you go and enjoy. You get what you expect out of it. So I'm glad I paid the ticket to go watch it.
I'm definitely not saying don't watch it. It wasn't me jumping out of my seat to go see it.
What if it was in D-Box?
I don't know. It was at 4D.
4D? Oh.
The shrapnel thrown at your face constantly.
God, shrapnel.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Is that music?
It's a good choice.
Hey, well played.
Okay, let's never do that again.
Thank you for tuning in. What do you think of our review? If you didn't like it, if you did like it, let us know in the comments. Of course, always like and subscribe our videos. Until next time, this is Review on Wheels.